older.
No, you should just pour them together.
Are we talking about 25?
Yeah.
Yeah, you should just pour some Cabernet into
Nope.
some Blanc. Be like, here you go.
That's what I wanted to do, half and half.
So we're back on. Sorry about the delay. Corkage.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Wines sometimes,
I'm sorry.
wines sometimes get diseases. They get things like TCA in cork, TCA in the cork that creates diseased wine. Okay,
Mine is TCA.
it's a disease in cork.
Okay.
It smells the same.
So it's a disease, of course, a tree. So it's a disease that's in the tree itself.
Oh, okay. I don't know, it smells better, but it's like, is it because we're using old glasses that we have? We just washed our glasses, but that should have been enough
Like
to
I
get rid
said,
of the
you should have gotten new glasses.
I don't know if
So you're
it's
still gonna have residual left over from that bad bottle.
It's getting better.
My glasses and your glasses.
Excuse me.
Hey, Marshall, what was this you just poured?
Hotel Rosé.
It's
Hotel?
fine. Yeah.
Strawberries.
Yep. So this wine is perfect for just about anything, I think, seafood-wise on the menu. Pinot Noir and Chardonnay are both highest in wine. You're in Carmel, colder growing area in California. You're doing a nice little second fermentation in stainless steel, so it's gonna be super clean, very sharp, should go with those dishes really nicely. I absolutely love this wine, in particular with fried food. If you ever want to challenge yourself to a mind-blowing culinary experience, get some fried food and some sparkling. Make sure that it's done with the next method we're going to talk about. The other tends to be a little bright. Get a great little Comate El sauce or Comate anything and a bucket of KFC, and there you go. Life-changing moment. Life-changing moment. Now that we have a folktale that's not corked, thoughts, impressions.
Usually I don't like Chardonnay, but it's fruit. So usually it really makes it bitter, but since it's still on semi-fruity.
Good.
Fruity, but like in a good fruit.
Mm-hmm.
Like heavy fruit forward in a good way.
My favorite, I did this still rosé. I had this rosé from Sancerre, the Sancerre Pinot Noir rosé, and that was phenomenal. Do they have any sparkling Sancerre rosés? Like really?
I've never seen one.
I've never heard
But
of it.
even with the sparkling, it's not heavy on the bone.
Right. Cool. Well, now that that disaster is over, let's talk about what people are more used to in terms of their sparkling, the traditional or champagne method. So this is where you're going to start off, and you have a nice little chart if you want to follow along. I don't have that chart. Sorry, you can just look it over hers. No, I mean for Ella, for the late joiner. So
Sorry.
here's how this works. You're going to start off with your base wine or your cuvee, okay? Now, if it's champagne, it's going to be 3 grapes. It's going to be Chardonnay, Pinot Noir, or Pinot Meunier. Once again, let's remember our training back in the Room of Doom. Any white wine grape or red wine grape can produce red wine, okay? Or white wine, pardon me. White wine is produced by pressing of the grape itself to extract the juice. Red wine gets its color and structure from stem and seed and skin. Skin contact being the big part of that. So that's why you see in a champagne, Pinot Meunier or Pinot Noir and Pinot Meunier, which Pinot Meunier is dark purple at grape as you'll find, producing white colored champagne. All right. So that's where you start. Now they're going to ferment it like they would a still wine. So that's really up to the producer at that point. Okay. Most of them in their first fermentation will use oak, but they have allowed stainless steel now in the Champagne AOC. So that's where you're starting. Now, this is where it starts to get fun. You're going to add the yeast of the triage, and you're going to put that into the bottle. So, first fermentation occurs. Now we're going to add yeast. Now it goes in the bottle. This process is going to take about 3 years to develop the flavors that you want. Stainless steel tank, huge. Okay? Bottle, very small. a lot longer period of time now. One of the things they do, they actually pay someone to sit in the winery itself. They used to, now they have mechanics. That they turn them 5 times a day so that yeast doesn't settle in one spot in the wine. That is this dude's job. When I was in Tuscany doing a wine adventure, they had this old dude that worked at Baracchi Winery in Tuscany. They did this amazing sparkling rosé, right? And he just had a cigarette hanging out of his mouth in the cellar the whole time I was there for 2 hours, and that's all they did all day. He would chain smoke, drink coffee, and turn bottles. Then they gave him this is one of the most beautiful resorts in all of Tuscany. He had his own living quarters. He'd then go to bed, and they cook him a Michelin one-star meal. That's not a bad life.
Like, you know,
Is it 5-star or 1-star?
1 star.
This is my 2 weeks notice.
I mean, what I'm good.
Moving
What are we doing wrong?
Chain smoke and turn bottles.
Everyone find every retirement plan just right now.
That is known as riddling, okay? So when you see that term, that's what it is.
Riddling means turning the bottles?
Yeah.
Okay.
So then you'll also see, now they have contraptions and machines that turn it, to make it obsolete. But those are really cool too. But the old dude chain smoking, and he's got a place to live, and he gets to eat Sylvia Baracchi's food. That's cool. Okay. So, to make this happen, obviously, because it's in the bottle, you got to get that yeast out, right? You got to get it out. The dosage. All right. So, what happens before they're corked and wired? You'll add in other bottles. They'll freeze the neck. They'll hang the wine upside down and freeze the neck. So all of those yeasts after the years, that's where they're settling. Take it out, that little bit of dosage comes out, right? Set a little bit, and then you replace it with other wine. So you're getting rid of the nasties and bringing in the goodies. Then it becomes corked and aged. Now, because we are spending a lot more time in bottling, you're also getting the yeast contact, and you're seeing a lot more barrel fermentation by most traditional producers. This wine itself is going to have a lot more pressure. It's going to have a lot more bready notes, yeasty notes. And you'll notice that as you look. I'm going to pour a little bit of this because we had some joiners come in late, so I want to make sure everyone can taste the Domaine Raphael. Then pass this one around. But you'll see the difference between that and the Prosecco in terms of the amount of carbonation and the tightness of the bubbles.
Those are.
You'll Jaden, pass that to the team, please.
Can you explain the frozen thing again?
So all your yeast is going
Okay,
to
so it's
settle.
the bubbles are gonna be more in the middle.
Yeah.
Maybe-
Like when they turn it upside down?
Right, and so it's upside down. You freeze the neck. You freeze just this little bit right here.
Okay.
Okay? Not even the whole thing. And then, so that dosage comes out. All that nasty yeasty stuff, so you're not drinking that. Okay? And then you just put a little more of the juice from another bottle back in.
So is it freezing it just to make it like a solid?
Yes.
Okay, okay.
So you're not wasting as much.
Okay.
Because you do waste a fair amount. Sorry.
This is my favorite part.
Yeah. So as our friend Marshall is pouring,
I mean, I'm not a.
this is, people are going to ask you what is in this? What are the grapes in here? Okay, so repeat after me. Pinot Blanc,
Pinot Blanc,
Pinot Auxerrois,
Pinot Noir,
Pinot Gris,
Pinot Gris,
and Auxerrois.
Auxerrois.
Okay? And Auxerrois. So there's Pinot Auxerrois and Auxerrois. Okay? One's red, one's white. Auxerrois, it's an indigenous grape to the Alsace, okay? Very indigenous grape to the Alsace. So, you also see it in Germany quite a bit too. I love Pinot Auxerrois. It's one of my, I can just drink it all day long. It's phenomenal, but you don't see it very often. This is still wine. These folks date back to 1850, although there has been farming next to this beautiful church with these guys since 1376. So this plot of land has been producing agricultural goods for nearly 800 years. And this family itself has been producing the Domaine Raphael, like I said, since 1850. So again, when you think about that sort of longevity in business. I mean, they've been around now for 151 years. Oh yeah. So, the difference between this and the tank method, who is getting brioche, yeast, butter, baked bread?
Sounds like smells more bitter. Like, but isn't it?
Oh my God, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
That's my favorite.
Had you
Never
heard about this
thought you were
before you
gonna
said
do
it?
it.
Can't go for
We
one.
saw that a lot of first
Yeah.
flavor when he said
I've known about this one for years.
Yes,
And
it's
you're saying-
brioche. Yeah, buttery. Got this rolling.
All right. Lindsay, do you get all those differences between the tank and the
I
traditional?
love it. I'm so glad.
I mean, yeah, but with the traditional, you do get a lot more of the brioche. All the same as
Good, good, good. Ella, what do you think this would go great with on the menu? Fish toast is spot on, right on the nose there. Do you think it would work with the scallops with the great acidity
distribute guy. That's super.
and what?
Because for when you got the lactate seasoning, and you got the curry remouladas, like everything all cooks like good, nice spice, but then the acidity will be fuller.
Love it. Love it. There's sparkling part one. Does anyone have any further questions?
No,
Cool.
thank you.
Next week, sparkling part two. Okay, we'll be tasting the Domaine Carneros for sure. Domaine Carneros is tremendous. I'll post it out on 7 Shifts as I'm looking at the schedule tomorrow. And okay,
Thank you.
I really appreciate all your all's time. If you get Facebook invitations from the Plank Austin Wine Education Group, that's me trying to. And if I can't find you on Facebook, I'll get everyone on YouTube link or something. I don't really know how to do any of this stuff. I'm going to teach myself. So. Thank you all again. Have a wonderful evening. We appreciate it. Please
Thank you,
clean
Adam.
up
Thank you, Adam.
after yourselves.
Thank you.
Get rid of your glasses, dump glasses, and so on and so forth.
Were these last two very dry? Or for this one?